Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. The other day, I was tidying and I discovered something absolutely crazy. Oh, there it is. My favorite shoe. And there's another. They made a sequel to my favorite shoe? And that got me thinking, what other products deserve sequels? And more importantly, which ones already have sequels that I'm unaware of? I mean, surely they'd never make a sequel to Splatoon. Wait a minute. Holy shit! Dear video games, you need to utilize the number 2 more. Love, Rawk. Video game sequels are an inevitability when you have a game engine and a boatload of assets. Well, you might as well make 5 more Mega Man games. A lot of the time, sequels are the most resourceful thing to do for a studio, especially with asset reusing sequels. You're making a whole new game from mostly pre-existing assets, and even if it only sells half as many copies as the original, you're probably still making a decent amount of profit. So why do some studios despise sequels? For most series, we're bound to get another game at some point. You really think Nintendo would look at Mario's Tennis on the Virtual Boy and say, we did good, this doesn't need improving? But most of the time, when a sequel is being made, the development team just throw out all of the assets they had and start fresh. And I just don't get it. The games industry needs to take notes from Pokemon Wii. The gold standard! Direct video game sequels don't happen often enough if you ask me, and even if it doesn't make sense to ask for an asset reusing sequel to Donkey Kong 64? That's exactly what I'm out here to do. So I think it's about time we take a look at the wealth of games Nintendo needs to look at and think to themselves, to it. You can't spell Rawk as predictable without predictable. And you also can't spell make a new Chibi Robo without bitch room. What is there to say about a new Chibi Robo? Oh wait, that's right, there's a boatload to say about a new Chibi Robo. Because the concept of a tiny robot exploring everyday environments has damn near unlimited potential. Now, let's make something real clear right off the bat. Ziplash does not deserve to be 2'd, because let's be honest, it didn't even deserve to be 1'd. This game is not a Chibi Robo game, so it can stay as deep in the ground as possible if you ask me. There are 2 ideas that stick out in my mind for a new Chibi Robo game. Naturally, they would both keep the core gameplay and concepts from the GameCube original, but they'd take place in new locations, namely being a hospital and a school. Imagine it! Chibi Robo Medical Mayhem and Chibi Robo Schoolyard Scamper. The former sees Chibi Robo as a robotic medical assistant exploring the hospital in order to find the correct medical supplies to help certain patients. And if they wanted to, he's small enough to be involved in surgery. And the latter would see Chibi Robo as a teaching assistant, finding new and interesting tools to help the kids learn, while fixing interpersonal turmoil between the students. You can explore science labs, computer suites, the schoolyard, it would be a blast. Chibi Robo would work so well as a series to take mundane everyday settings and turn them into a fun as hell game. And these 2 ideas don't even scratch the surface. Take him to a play area, take him to a movie set, take him to a safari, bring him to the Switch, Nintendo, you f***ing cowards! I know when I talked about my most wanted HD remakes, I said that I'd rather have a remake of the original game than a Pokepark 3. But that's not gonna stop me from being a greedy bitch. A man has certain needs that must be fulfilled. With modern Pokemon going in the direction it is, I honestly don't see much of a need for a new Pokepark game. I think one of the biggest attractions of this game was the fact that you were walking around these big open areas that Pokemon were inhabiting, which was such a breath of fresh air from the mainline games. But now that the mainline games are exactly that, it could probably be argued that we don't need a new Pokepark game. Counterpoint, do something super unique with this game's theming. Problem solved. I'm just not ready to say goodbye to the formula of Pokepark Wii. Everything about it is fantastic in my opinion. So even if it means doing some more wacky stuff, keep this series going. Please! Look, Mario sports games have had a pretty bad track record in recent years. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, Mario Golf Super Rush, Mario Tennis Aces. These are the only series Nintendo cared about until Next Level Games threw a tantrum. The main complaint that people have with the modern Mario sports games seems to be that they feel incomplete or not like full games. So why not package 4 in 1? That'll shut people up. Say what you will about the core formula of Mario Sports Mix, but I honestly think that it worked great. Especially in the Sports Mix mode that allowed you to play a tournament consisting of all 4 of the sports. And the party mode that took unique spins on the core sports and churned out some really fun results. I think for a sequel, I'd love to see some cross-contamination. I think it'd be pretty neato to play a round of dodgeball with some hockey elements injected in there. I think that could lead to some pretty wacky gameplay. Of course, this is assuming that they use the same 4 sports as they did last time, which I think would be wise. I don't really think there's potential for dodgeball, volleyball, or hockey to become full-fledged games. And the one time there was a Mario basketball game, it sure was basketball. Now, some of you have probably been dying to say, but Rawk, Mario Sports Mix already got a sequel. Mario Sports Superstars on the 3DS.
Oh, my mistake. I should have said what I'm about to say so much sooner. The door's that way.
Both Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi have been going in directions that have split their respective fan bases almost entirely. But when it comes down to it, I think there's one thing that both fan bases can unanimously agree on. Super Mario RPG was great. Now I still haven't played this game because, oops, it didn't come out in PAL regions. F my British mouth and the face it resides on. But believe me, I really want to, because what I've seen and heard about this game makes it sound like a good video game. I never would have guessed. It's just bursting with personality and charm, man. And I think it has a lot of potential for a sequel that takes that wacky and lovable world style and cast and brings it into the modern era. This could also be Nintendo's chance to make an honest-to-goodness Mario RPG. It's in the damn name. Nintendo seem to be allergic to RPGs when it comes to Mario. They keep saying that they don't want Paper Mario to be an RPG, but then they keep making these bitch simple RPGs! It's clear as day that the team behind Paper Mario still want to make RPGs. So why not let them make a sequel to Mario RPG? Oh hell, Nintendo and Square Enix seem to be pretty buddy-buddy nowadays. Get them to do it! And let it use the gorgeous HD 2D style. That could work so damn well! Nintendo Land was one of the best games the Wii U had to offer, which is pretty damn pathetic considering it was a launch title. But hey, it's a wicked solid game, so I'll let it slide. The concept of making a virtual amusement park where all of the attractions are based on different Nintendo series is pure genius. And I honestly think there is limitless potential here. Not only are there a load of Nintendo franchises that haven't been represented yet, but there's also a lot of room for the series that already have attractions to have new ones. Imagine a Chibi Robo inspired hide and seek minigame. One player is the seeker and the other 3 have to find places to hide in the Sanderson household. Different rounds could be played in different rooms, and there can even be a mode where you can find and use some tools from the game to gain an advantage. Or imagine an enhanced version of Mario Chase that has parkour elements. Make the course more open and let us jump around, wall jump, dive. That would make it so much more intense and fun.
I could come up with these ideas all goddamn day.
I also think that Nintendo Land needs online play, especially considering that local play would become a one-screen experience. This feature could make a Nintendo Land sequel one of the greatest multiplayer games on the system. Tomodachi Life is something of a guilty pleasure for me. A game that I know is flawed beyond belief, but is still something I find endless amounts of enjoyment from. The main complaint people have about this game is that you run out of things to do pretty quickly. But I never really had this problem. After all, I am the guy who spent more time in Animal Crossing New Horizons than I have with real humans.
My social skills have never been better.
For what it was, Tomodachi Life was a blast. And I think with a lot more content and a way of spreading out that content that more people can agree is good, a sequel to this game could work really well. I don't have a lot of specific ideas for this one, other than maybe more customization options. Let us go all out with our islands and customize every single facility based on islander requests. The donation system that was already in place in the original? Expand that to include material donations to put towards building a theme park or a swimming pool or a 3-story food court. Really, go wild with it. And with events like weddings, give us more control in the planning process rather than just letting a cutscene play. Let our characters age in a more natural way than a very sudden time jump like in the original. Let me put my friends in hamster cages in beautiful HD.
Because the Switch has gone over 5 years without this and the local priests are pissed.
In a Nintendo Direct on the 9th of February 2022, Nintendo revealed something absolutely shocking. Something that would go on to change the lives of fans all across the world. After it lay in a coffin for almost a decade, Nintendo finally decided to revive Wii Sports.
What are they gonna revive next? The Atari Jaguar?
Ever since the Switch launched, I've been yearning for a return to this series. It just felt like a perfect fit for this console. And now that I've had a taste, I'm hungry for more. I think it's about time we saw the return of the entire Wii series, because these games are far too iconic and honestly, too good to not make a comeback. I mean, come on, you wouldn't tell Jesus not to come back from the dead. I know a few guys who did that, and guess where they are now?
Well, let's just say they don't get to play Wii Chess anymore.
So, Nintendo, do yourself a favor and bring back Wii Sports Resort, but this time, instead of being summer themed, it's winter themed. Bring back Wii Play and Wii Play Motion and dream up even more wacky mini-games. Bring back Wii Party to give Mario a run for his money. Bring back Wii Fit as a supplemental title to Ring Fit Adventure. Bring back Wii Music and Chess and make them actually good!
I think I'm being quite reasonable.
Tetris Attack is one of the best Super Nintendo games, and it's barely even legal.
Some people are into that.
Panel de Pon, or Puzzle League, or whatever the hell it's called nowadays, has been completely neglected for decades now. I mean, it was part of the Nintendo Puzzle Collection on GameCube. Oh yeah? Big whoop, call me when it's on the Switch. Objection, Your Honor. That's bad for my case. Sure, fine, okay. Panel de Pon is on Switch Online. But you know what else is on Switch Online? Mario 64.
Well then why should we make a new 3D Mario? Just play that one!
Because go f*** yourself, that's why. I get it though. Is there really much more that can be done with a new iteration of a puzzle game? No, which is why we need Puzzle League 99. Nintendo, where is Ludo 99? The fans wanna know. I think combining the ridiculously satisfying gameplay of Puzzle League with the batshit insanity of the 99 series could be wicked amounts of fun. And if they really wanted to, they could add in DLC that makes this a straight up, no-nonsense version of Puzzle League, just like they did with Tetris. And bring back the Yoshis, Nintendo. You know you want to. Let's take a look at the most recent Pokemon spin-offs and see if we can spot a pattern. Mobile game. Pokken Tournament. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. New Pokemon Snap. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Stop! Where's the Pokemon Dash sequel? I'm honestly sick of how the Pokemon Company has been handling spin-off games. We get like one that's worth caring about every year, and then 15 mobile games that get smacked onto the Switch and only work in handheld mode. Are they objectively bad games? I don't know, they've all looked too abysmal for me to want to play. Now obviously, mobile is a big part of Pokemon's business model, and I get that. But let's get some spin-offs that actually feel like they gave half a damn while making them. And let's get them at a more frequent pace. I'm not even too picky about which side series should come back. We could get a new Pokemon Stadium, or Coliseum, or Mystery Dungeon, or Pinball, or Ranger, or Hey You Pikachu, or Pokemon Dash! Make them feel like they were actually made for the Switch. Which, now that I say it out loud, feels like a big ask. Mostly because the mainline games barely feel that way yet. When will you two grow up? We live in a world where even Kirby has taken the leap into 3D, so what the is your excuse? Donkey Kong and Yoshi are just begging to finally get 3D adventures, and I honestly don't see what's holding them back. In his defense, Donkey Kong has experimented with the third dimension a whopping 1 time, but Yoshi? This lazy son of a bitch has only made it to 2.5.
He's trying his best.
The ideas for these games write themselves. Yoshi exploring different islands in Super Mario 3D World style levels, collecting flowers and gems and what have you, and having different fruits score you different power-ups. Donkey Kong having one big interconnected island to explore with the rest of the DK crew, the return of King K. Rool and the Kremlings, and a combat system that rewards experimentation with the different Kongs. DK Rap 2, and no more crafted art style for Yoshi. But that'll be forgiven because you'll be able to collect rarer fruits to create salads that permanently upgrade Yoshi's abilities. This is another pair of games that really need to give Mario a run for his money. I love 3D platformers more than any other genre of gaming. And I love Mario more than any other series. But it becomes exhausting having only one option for Nintendo 3D platformers nowadays. Just like Kirby has done, communicate to us that, hey, Mario isn't the only one who can kick ass in 3D. And trust me, you might even get more than 2 million sales on these games. Did somebody order another round of me bitching about platformers?
Because we only catered for a mammal and a reptile.
Nintendo seem to have forgotten how damn good Wario's platformers are. Sure, WarioWare is fantastic too, but that's all Wario has been allowed to do since the Wii. Now, am I picky about which of Wario's platforming series make a comeback first? No. Do I still have an argument for both? Of course I do, I'm no bitch. Wario World was Wario's first and only 3D game, and it was damn solid if you ask me. Given the Garlic Man has only graced the third dimension once, I think it would make sense for this to be the first series of his to return. There's still so much Wario could do with a 3D platformer. If anything, just because the idea has barely been explored. Now with Wario Land, there have been a lot more of those games, but that doesn't mean there's any less potential for a new one. For a new Wario Land, I would accept nothing less than an evolution of the Shake Dimensions art style, which was absolute perfection. And hey, since the Shake Dimension was pretty focused on the Wii's gimmick, have a new Wario Land focus on one of the Switch's gimmicks. Or alternatively, don't do that and just make a good game.
Balls in your court, Nintendo.
Pikmin is too damn good to have been dormant since 2013, man. The core gameplay of Pikmin is absolutely fantastic, and there is still a ton of room for expansion. There are so many environments that the Pikmin are yet to explore, types of Pikmin we can't even imagine yet, and numbers of captains I can't even count to, all waiting for us in a new game. I can't count higher than 5. But we need a new entry in the series more than I need my inhalers.
Which is saying a lot, because watch this. I'm at a greater risk of death now.
Now, let me make one thing abundantly clear. A new Pikmin game will not be another 2D side-scroller. We've already experimented with that. It was fine. It wasn't as offensive as a certain Tiny Robots 2D escapades. But it sure as hell didn't feel like Pikmin. We're keeping things three-dimensional, fruit-focused, and we're bringing back a stricter time limit. Because as much as I love Pikmin 3 and haven't played Pikmin 2 yet, the hard limit found in the original will forever have the upper hand on how those games handled the passage of time. I could write a compelling ass novel about this.
Video game sequels are a damn fun thing to discuss. Probably because there's no true end to that discussion. Chibi Robo 42 could have came out a week ago and I'd still be begging for 43 because deep down, all gamers are gluttonous bitches. And because of that, there are still so many sequels that I want that I didn't even get to talk about. Like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Punch-Out, and F-Zero, and Star Fox, and Earthbound, and oh my god, what if I die in my sleep before I even get to ask for a new Rhythm Paradise? But of course, that gluttony does have limits, and even in my wildest dreams and horniest fantasies, I could never imagine Nintendo making a sequel to Super Mario Galaxy, because honestly, what would they stand to gain from that? You gotta be fucking kidding me.